wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? This country would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers in their wellies. Wellies, they're wonderful, oh wellies, they're swell. If it wasn't for your
You're very welcome back to our channel. Like most dairy farms at the moment, we spend our days feeding cows and moving nutrients around. Ellen goes to a farm auction and Joe gets to demo a machine for the day from Nace Farm Machinery. When Joe says, get the number off the tyre, well, yeah, it's not exactly like a car tyre that you can see the fucking number. Jesus. Like Braille. 4, 2, 0. That's dash. 7, 0. What the hell is this? 7, 0. Or 2, 4. He rings me back. Call out from the flat side. Can't see the numbers on the flat side, Joe. It does say Continental 207, but no numbers obviously are visible.
Morning everybody and welcome back to O'Neill Family Dairy Farm. It's Tuesday morning, it's after 10 o'clock. Heavy frost this morning, it was minus 3 or 4 degrees there earlier on, starting to warm up a bit now, a bit of sunshine there shining in my face. What's on the schedule for this morning? We are currently down to one tractor as the Dicey baby has a flat front tyre, unfortunately. So we have contacted Crookstown Tyres. It'll be after lunch before they're here, unfortunately, but what it is, we'll make do. So I have the Beet for today loaded into the wagon. I'm just going to stick the shear grab on the front of the tractor now, and I'm going to move it, clean away a bit of this stuff here because we need to strip our silage pit, as I was saying in this morning's video. I will hook the New Holland back onto the wagon and have it chopping the beet while I strip off the sandbags and roll the cover back a little bit. It's loads of time for the New Holland to chop the beet, and then we'll disconnect it, we'll load in our silage that we require. The beauty of having the 2 loaders on the front of both tractors is that we can make do with one tractor. It just slows the process down massively, but we'll get there, we'll drive it on. So our beet is chopping in the wagon there. Going to give it lots of time and hopefully it does a good job on it. Crookstown Tyres updated us, it should be here hopefully in an hour and a half, which would be super. Time to strip the pit. Silage cover stripped off, so sandbags neatly arranged on a pallet to be lifted away. When we get the pallet fork on, we'll lift them up there out of the road. I just cut off this section here now because it's all we'll need for today, I assume. Well, more than what we'll need for today, but it looks good. I know we have it tested, but we'll go for the smell test. Yeah, she smells good, and obviously through the harvester precision chop, it'll be so much easier to get into the wagon, load it into the wagon, get it into the mix for the milkers. If we were still feeding bales and didn't have a pit option, we would have to wait on the front wheel was mended on the Dites, because there's no way that the wagon would be able to cope with just loading in some silage and then getting it started. So the Beet has been chopped there perfectly for the length of time it took me to do this, what, 15 or 16 minutes or so? Yeah, so going to disconnect the New Holland now and throw a couple of grabs in, hook the scales on, hook the power onto the lights to see what sort of weight we're going at. Yeah, get the mix made for the milkers, get them fed. Ellen was to be down this morning. We were getting through a list of jobs and cleaning up and stuff to do, but obviously we put her on hold now until we get the Dice back in action. So yeah, I should have cows fed and everything sorted out by the time the boys get here to mend the tyre. Whew, that was a bit of a workout on a frosty morning. Ditesy baby's back in action. She was parked over in the other shed in the feed passage, and I had to take it out of there this morning to just push up silage to Honey and them. And when I was slowly coming across the yard, well, obviously before I realised that the tyre was flat, I damaged the valve in the tube. So there was a hole in our existing tube, so I thought it might just be a repair, but I had actually damaged the airlet valve and she was squez, so I had to get a new tube. But sure, out the crooks down tyres. Speedy response out here. She's ready for road. So it's 3:10 on Tuesday afternoon. We're in the New Holland with the Big Bertha's hooked on, bringing her back home. Drive it on, New Holland. Wednesday morning, 9:20, beet chopping in the wagon, and we're just about to load in pit silage. I have added in beet for the cull cows and honey, mainly the cull cows, so that we're just chopping the one lot of beet and not having to worry about what they're doing. Oh, Joe. I need to turn this clock around so I can read the weight. So basically what I'm doing is I have the beet for the milkers in, and the extra bit of beet that I'm giving to the cull cows, we introduced it back into them there yesterday. So what happens now is I'm going to let the beet for the cull cows out onto the ground and honey out onto the ground. So I need to get it to drop down to 800, and then I'll come along later on and we'll scoop that up into the track. Wrong way, Joe. Crap. Crap. I'll show you there now what we're after doing. So there was 880 in the wagon. There's our chopped beet on the ground. I was meant to get it down to 800. 760. They won't mind. There's enough for them there for tomorrow as well. Some of it is a little bit on the bigger side. I'll chop that down a little bit smaller there just with the shovel when I'm feeding it out. The plan tomorrow or possibly the next day is that tomorrow I'd say Honey and them and the cull cows, they have a good bit of silage left in front of them there from the other day. So when they've that eaten, what I'll do is I'll just make extra mix and silage or silage and beet in the wagon and just feed them out the same ration as the cows, because they're going to be getting the same level of feeding, and then we'll give them their bit of meal that they're getting out on top.
Because we're only introducing the beef feed to these cows, they can't go on to the same level of feeding as the other cows that are used to it already. They have to introduce slowly and build up.
So plan for today, it's a slurry moving day. So we're going to agitate up our tanks. The one behind the old milking parlour and the one under the maiden heifers are full. Move probably 5 loads, maybe 3 or 4 loads from the tank under the maiden heifers, and then 5 or 6 load out from behind the old milking parlour and put it up into the new tank. The one under Honey and them is also getting quite full, but because there's such a small number of them, it'll probably be alright for today, but we'll see how we're going. Yeah, so that's our plan. That's going to take the bulk of the day now, by the time we get these cows fed up and get a little bit of breakfast. Typical Wednesday in the middle of December, just moving things around so we're not caught with full tanks, etc. coming up to Christmas. So that's our plan. Okay, slurry movement is a go. You'll hear the agitator in the background. Eagle-eye viewers now, when the camera tracks me, you'll realise that that's not our agitator. Yeah, look, needless to say, Joe didn't get to fix ours yet. So we nipped down the road and borrowed Kevin's, our contractor. So appreciate that, Kevin. I'm going to drop the pipe into the tank now, get it on the back of the tanker. We'll start moving some slurry. A shout out to the cars that were following me on the road. I appreciate your frustration. Even though it's the main road, passing opportunities are limited enough. If there was somewhere to pull in, I would have. I'm probably been a bit hard on the cars. There was only one car and then a van. Like I always say, we're all doing a job, trying to get somewhere. go somewhere, do something. Going to get the agitator, there's less opportunities to pull in than there is on the way back. If there was an opportunity to pull in, I would have. So I hope you get where you're going. Well, I'm doing a job like you were. Okay. We'll turn on the tanker now and we'll empty a couple of load out of this one. First load going out. Yes, that first load is quite watery. The agitator was struggling to agitate a little bit there because the tank was up close to the bottom of the slat. So suck that load out now, and the next couple of loads will be a little bit thick. Although the tank is quite watery, there's not a whole lot of slurry in it. It's only the small dairy heifer, so they wouldn't have done a whole lot. It's just been a build up of small bit of rainwater getting in. I think it's probably 3 times now that disconnected the truck, and it has been flowing for a number of hours. So we finally have that remedied. Some dairy washings from back in the summer, but we know where else for it to go and wouldn't have been too wet. So here we are. Load 2. Alright, new development on O'Neill Dairy Farm today. In conjunction with Nace Farm Machinery, they have asked us to test this skid to steer loader. Fully aware of how hard Joe is on machinery, the boys have decided to give it to us for a run. We have Donal and Harry from Nace Farm Machinery here dropping it off. Give us a quick rundown on it there.
Look, there's a 1 ton lift on these, 2-speed, and you've got your high flow hydraulics. So you have your couplings on your front arm here. You'll have your parallel lift.
Shear grab or anything.
Okay, right, yeah.
It's all hand controls. Yeah, Kubota engine, 3 years, 3,000 hour warranty. Yeah.
And how high did you say it lifts?
It lifts about 3 metres.
Okay, and what weight will it lift?
It lifts 1 ton.
Lift 1 ton to about 3 metres. Excellent.
And you'll also have a full GPS tracking system. So if someone else, if you lend it out to someone, you know exactly where it is, you know
very good.
what revs it's running at, and full traceability. You'll also have your fleet management system, so you'll know when to service it, etc. as well.
Diesel usage and everything.
Exactly.
Road legal as well.
Road legal?
Yeah. Now it only goes 17 kilometres an hour, but still. But all the controls are at your hands, which makes everything so much more convenient.
All right, well, sure.
And your visibility is great.
We'll get her off it and we'll hop into it then. Okay. Good job, I'm a small man. And nothing moves while you're sitting in, no matter how many yokes you bump off.
Now,
this is to get it started, you obviously have to pull that lad down.
Pull him down, it won't start without the door closed either.
Okay, or won't move or start as in physically turn on. Okay.
There's your 2 speeds there.
Okay.
Climate control here.
Right.
There's no AdBlue on this.
Yeah.
So what you'll do when I close the door is you'll hit that, don't lock your hydraulics, and then hit your handbrake here.
Okay.
It's just for your lights and everything else, and just your operations parameter. And then all your controls are off your hands.
Pedal, obviously that's the accelerator.
Just push forward.
Push forward and go forward.
You can turn the revs up here.
Oh yeah, okay, so you don't have to
as well as off your foot.
How many hand you're using on your foot?
Yeah.
I find it handier on your foot and keeping it revved up fully.
Yeah, okay.
You can control it then on your foot.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. And what's the other lad do then on this side?
That's for your hydraulics.
Okay, right.
To engage
your third service.
Yeah, to engage your third service.
Oh yeah, I understand, yeah, okay, alright, yeah. So, these lads are very similar to track machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that one, forward, reverse, left, right.
Okay, yeah.
Up, down, tilt.
Okay.
Figure it out.
Stand back there and give me a spin.
Do you want me to hold
When you're starting them, press that,
handbrake off.
Unlock hydraulic and then handbrake off.
Yeah, okay.
Every time you lift that barrier up.
That day come back on automatically?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Just
right.
safety feature.
Safety feature, yeah. Alright. Sound, alright.
Try and see.
Load 5. It is a miserable afternoon now. Bloody hell. Load 6. Number 8.
I am down in Laois at Hennessy Auctions. We bought some stuff at the auction over the weekend, so I'm just gonna load it into the car. Wish we'd have bought more, to be honest. Good thing I have a big 7-seater, isn't it? It all fitted in. I didn't really think it was a pallet truck, and I have to say that was purchased just when I got here. It was €70. What a steal. I was only pricing them online for 400 the other day.
Christmas has arrived. So it is Wednesday afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. The day is after getting away on me there a bit. I've 7 loads of slurry moved now. Have to do the school runs and stuff there because Ellen's a bit busy farm shopping. Sorry, shopping for the farm. Going to get another couple of load moved now, and then we're going to push in all our feed and see how we go. It's raining and then it's not raining and changeable weather, but you'd think that you're just tipping around the yard, you'd be up and down real quick, but it's slow going. Anyway, the Dykes has done a savage job stirring up the tank of slurry at the old parlour, so it's agitated enough now. Going to take 2 more load out of that tank, and then we will move the Dykes and the agitator up to the collecting yard. You just suck a load of water out of that and then agitate it all up so we can get a good empty on it. See how we go.
I'm just back from Port Laois. Joe's after sinking the agitator down into the collection yard tank. I just need him to lift out the pallet truck. I come bearing gifts. So it's heavy enough. 2 of them lifted it in. Two transformers. Joe wanted me to hop back on so he could test it going down, and then when I got off he was pumping it up. We're well impressed. It's to move the pallets of milk powder around the shed, or if there's bales or whatever, just to make things a bit easier.
Alright, a quick update on how we're getting on. It is currently 3 minutes past 7 o'clock in the black dark, and it is raining again. Yeah, it's just taking me till now to finish off moving around my slurry and stuff. The collecting yard tank needed to be agitated badly, so spend time getting that done, mixing up as best we can, and she is as empty as I can get it now, I think. So no cow's milked, we have decided. Not a spur of the moment thing, but it's been in my mind since Sunday that we're going once a day now for the rest of 2025, however long more we're going to milk.
We means him. He had not told me. I do the books. I have a budget and there's income that needs to come in. It was centred around a milk price that was 4 cents higher than it is now. It's only another 2 weeks. The cow solids are at the highest that they've been all year, as it's the end of their season. It's the cows that are due to calve last in our 10-week calving period. It makes sense now to get the most out of these high solids when it's very likely when they start calving down, the milk price that they're going to come into is even going to be lower than it is now.
There's only a handful of the cows. There's 80 milking, so there's probably only 20-25 of them that would have substantial amounts of milk in the evening time that, you know, you'd be worried about not milking them. It's not that many, so a row. We'll see what they're like in the morning. But anyway, decision made. So we have to push up silage for everything. I have the beet that I chopped this morning in the bucket now to throw it in with honey and the cull cows, etc. So and then push in silage to the milkers, and that'll be it for the day. I had full intentions to do a demo on our skid steer loader there, but I am covered in so much dirt and slurry and everything else, I don't need to destroy it sitting into it, so that'll have to be done tomorrow. Drive it on. Morning everybody, it's 7 o'clock. Just a quick status on farm while we're here before we get milking. Cows are in the yard waiting patiently. I said in my video last night that we decided to go once a day milking till the end of the year, or till we stop milking, or till everything's dried off. But the farm financial control planner officer, Ellen, was cooking the books again yesterday evening. We've had a further 2 cent cut on our milk price. So that's 4 cents for September, 4 cents for October, and now another further 2 cents for November milk. So that's 10 cents in the last 3 months. So a bit ouchy. The talk is that it's going to go drop a little bit more. So Ellen had all our budgets and everything done for next year. She was rejigging them furiously there yesterday evening and into last night. So we're going to milk on. We'll go back twice a day, get them a few extra litres there for the next 10 days or so that we're going to milk on. Cows are milking well. It won't have any impact on them whatsoever. I had a chat with them there, discussed the plan. When I was getting them in out of the shed, they're like, where's our food? Let's just get on with it, Joe. So our solids are still holding their own. We had a spike in our cell count because we had a mastitis case there 2 mornings ago, so that should settle itself down. We had a huge spike in our total bacterial count there over the weekend or just before the weekend. I'm not sure what happened there. It went crazy high and then came back down. So on the next collection, I don't know what happened. Anyway, routine hadn't changed. Cubics are still benign. Cows, teeth sprayed. I don't know what happened. Anyway, it's under control now. So yeah, there we are. We're going twice a day. We'll just leave it with the dropping the Sunday evening milking. Joe will plough on and keep milking for another while. We have 20 cows earmarked that will be dried off on Monday, so we'll pull them out over the weekend, and then we'll have 60 cows milking for another little while. So Thursday morning, I'm going to drive it on, getting done. Busy. I'm off farm this afternoon, so I need to get all these jobs done. Cows are milked, so just out here in the lower yard now, make up the mix, chop the beet, get the silage in, get them fed out. And part of the fun this morning, is I'm going to zip around in this bad boy. You saw it earlier in the video. Nice farm machinery dropped it here. I thought I'd get a chance to have a mess around with it there yesterday evening, but obviously we got delayed. So I'm going to see now. It has a lift and reach of 3 meters, a lift and weight of 1 ton. I'm going to see if it's tall enough to put the beet into the diet wagon. Sorry, I'm on a bit of a slow on my speech this morning. I'd imagine that we'll be able to clear the side of the wagon and we'll just have to shake it and the beet will fall out. So it'll be a little bit slow. I don't think it's going to be tall enough. But anyway, we'll get it in somehow, and then while the beet is chopping, just going to zip around the yard. I have to clear away some of the silage in front of the honey and the cull cows and stuff, so I'm going to in and we'll spin her on the top and see what she's like in there doing that. So I have it warming up, and my initial thoughts this morning when I opened the door was that I think it's just my inflexibility. You don't pull the door open, you just pop it and then it's on a ram. It just comes out itself. I haven't really mastered how to get into it gracefully. Well, that's a little bit better than my first attempt this morning. You don't have to worry about hitting off the levers or anything when you get in, because the safety arm has to come down. Get my arm out under around now. Safety arm has to come down. It won't go anywhere, and then you have to turn on. There's a safety switch there. Every time you get out, lift up the safety arm and get back in. Even if the machine's still running, you have to turn that back on for it to function. My biggest thing this morning, just close the door. Oh, you have to give it a good pull. Was tried to stop the wiper. So the wiper was just banging away. I scanned around on the LED screen here. I was looking at these levers over here, looking everywhere. Anyway, to turn on and off the wiper, just here on your joystick. Oh, hey! And you can have it either side. So there we are. Yeah, I think I'll stick the camera outside now. Might just mount her on New Holland there and we'll have a go at what's going on. Okay, I have my camera on. We'll hop into it. A little bit easier to get in when you're not holding onto a camera. There's a mirror over my head that when you go into reverse, the camera on the back just comes straight up on it.
Very sorry for the shaking. Joe put it on the exhaust for some reason and hence it's shaking. And by the time I watched it back, the machine had already gone back and it was too late to redo it.
Go for the Beet, gosh. Here we go. Lifting her up, lifting her up, lifting her up, lifting her up, lifting her up. Oh my god, well up. I'm well into it. I should have measured the wagon. Absolutely no problem. Oh, Ellen, we're going to buy one. I can't believe that. We're with the rabbit mode there now. We had 100 and big difference between just driving around in it and you feel like you need to touch the brakes. We just need to let your hand off the lever, that's all. Yeah, getting it there now. Okay, so the bucket is quite shallow and small. Obviously, if you were going to be using this, if you invest in it, you would probably get a bigger bucket or a deeper bucket. We're dropping Beet all over the road there. But one of the main things is I'm delighted that it actually clears the wagon. I really didn't think it would. And like I said before, the Beet falls in no water. Now I'm controlling the revs with the foot throttle. There is a knob like a lever control as you have in your tractor that just set the revs. I actually think that would suit me a little bit better because you've enough going on with controlling your hands and see what way the levers are going. Yeah, there we are, 870. And then when you're getting out, you have to tilt the bucket up and make sure that there's clearance for the door. That's what happened to me here a bit yesterday. I was getting the door caught in the bucket in the front. Okay, I'm going to push in a bit of silage into the dairy heifer calves here. I'm going to try and scrape back this silage on the other side that has been in with honey in them. When they dropped off the hid silage, they went on to the bales there. They weren't overly happy about it, so they're not eating a whole lot of it. Barrier down, safety catch off. Let's go. Now I have a feeling that I'm going to be able to just scoot in and top across the top of this. Just try and get back. Losing a bit of grip. I wonder what we're like in the shed if we can turn around in here. Oh lads. Yeah, turn around in the shed, happy days. In the Beet passenger. Just push this across to the in-calf heifers here, the dry cows. There's a small bit of good stuff left on it. They can pick through it for the day. After changing the gear down, came out of rabbit mode because I was just, the reactions are very quick. I think I was just moving a bit too sharp for Joe's liking. So it's a 3-ton machine. I might as well tell you some info about it that Dawn was telling me yesterday. I don't know whether we got it all in the video. It's a 3-ton machine, 65 horsepower. Go in this way. If you're used to driving a track machine and having all your controls on the joysticks, if you're a young lad that's used to playing video games, controlling this will be a walk in the park. Now I was very happy with myself yesterday, just driving it back and forth in the yard, but obviously it's a completely different situation when you're actually doing something, having to concentrate and turn in tight spaces and left and right. And Ellen will tell you, when it comes to left and rights, Joe does continually getting that wrong. It's very obvious in this machine. But that little bit of manoeuvrability there now is absolutely savage. And have we got the power to push all this bit out? I think so. Across the yard. Might use the reversing camera. We'll reverse back in. There's a small drop of water on it there now, but we have a straight back. We have a reversing camera on Ellen's car, so get used to looking at that. The mirrors, unless you have your bucket all the way up. Yeah, the mirrors are not so bad. Probably should turn on the lights since it's quite dark this morning. It'll help visibility going backwards. But no, that reversing camera is quality. And as I said, it comes on automatically when as soon as you pull your lever back. Actually, lads, have to turn down the heating. It's roasting. The manoeuvrability and the touch is instant. If I was in the tractor there now pushing along by the feed barrier and I thought I was rubbing off the feed barrier, you have to slowly adjust your wheel. This is just instant, like she just pivots and and it's extremely sensitive. I think Donald said yesterday that you can adjust the setting of the sensitivity on it. There's an app that comes with, there's a GPS tracking device on it that, you know, it'll track what your usage is, what your diesel usage is. Obviously if it goes somewhere where it is all the time, ideal for hire companies. But if memory serves me correctly, he did say that there was a sensitivity mode on it that you can adjust. Now there's probably a little bit more waste stuff on the outside of that there than I thought, but anyway, now I had in my head this morning something that I wanted to test. This video is taking forever, but I want to pull this bit of silage back and I want to see if we're kind of already proven it, but it's also, it takes a bit of getting used to having something that's so compact in front, like directly there in front of you. You're used to the fork of the loader being way out. So all of that is like, it's literally like a, by the way, Joe, now have I got enough room? I do have enough room that I can just drive forward like that, push in the silage, that there. This manoeuvrability in the shed is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Just go a bit slower, turn a bit easier, forwards, there we go. Now all the while our beet is chopping away. Oh, that's a bit of waste, we get rid of that. Right. Oh, happy days. Alright, enjoyed that. 11 minutes, oh my god. Back in the New Holland, going adding the silage to the mix for the milkers. The beet is chopped. I'm also adding in the silage for honey and the cull cows. Their beet is in the wagon, and unlike yesterday, I'm not putting it out on the ground and feeding them into it afterwards. I'm going to feed it in the silage. Just makes it a little bit tidier. Total mix ration. We'll feed out the allocation that's for the milkers, which will be the majority of the mix. And then I have some meal that got delivered from Quinn's yesterday that will add to the mix afterwards. We'll go through that then. As I was saying there when I was putting in the silage for the milkers, we're going to put the meal that we got yesterday from Quinn's into the wagon now and into the silage and the beet that I've left chopped. Some advice actually that we got in the comments in one of our videos when we brought the cull cows home from the mart. We are going with a 50-50, half maize meal, half distillers. Now while I was waiting on this to come, the cows were on some of the dairy heifer ration there, replacing heifers. Obviously stored outside, it's not ideal. This is ground maize meal, there we go. Excellent. The distillers, and this is our distillers. Smells nice. They've been on the heifer ration, I don't have to build them up on this too slowly, so we're going straight in with 4 kilos a head, so it'll be 50-50, so 2 kilos of ground maize a head and 2 kilos of distillers, 26 kilos of each. So I have my white bucket, and the plan is I'm going to get a bucket full of it, I'll bring it over and I'll sit it on top of the wagon, and I should be able to check the scale and see what the weight of it is, and then we'll load it into the front of the New Holland. Here we go. So I will start the wagon turning now, mixing, and then I'll just shake that in across the whole of it, let it mix for a few minutes or a minute or so, and while it's doing that I'll put my cover back on top of our meal. Good stuff. Reversing back into the shed here with the Daya wagon. A job on the list now is to take down the gates so I can drive around out our shed there, come in from the far side. Well, obviously hasn't happened this morning, so we'll eventually beaten out. We have to sort out the divide in there between the two of the lots of them as well. They're cows are going in underneath the divide for the cubicle bars now as well, so it's a bit of a pain in the backside. I'll just turn around there and show you what's going out. So obviously beet, ground maize, distillers and pit silage. That doesn't keep them happy. I don't know what's going to keep them happy. So Thursday evening, it's after 6 o'clock. Lots of noise. The cows thought I was coming to push into silage. Realising now that they're going in for milking. Sorry girls, remember that we discussed it this morning? Yeah. Be grand. Who girls, come on. They'll settle back into it. Our dry cows, they absolutely annihilated their bale of hay that they got, or sorry, silage that they got yesterday. So, giving them a bale of hay there now today. Slowing them down a little bit. Come on, cows. We'll milk these ladies in jig time now and push up the silage and they'll be happy out. Friday morning, feeding at the zoo. Dry cows over on the far side. It's Friday afternoon. It's been a bit of a slow Friday. Cows milked and fed this morning. We had our discussion group meeting then in the town, myself and Ellen. We had a discussion group breakfast this morning. Went in there, met a few of the lads, a bit of breakfast and a bit of chat about keeping down costs for next year, as that is paramount for everyone now at the moment with the drop in milk price. So yeah, good discussion just about what is achievable without throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So yeah, really interesting morning. Lace Farm Machinery came and collected the skid steer loader yesterday, the Zoom Millen, I think is how you pronounce it. Yeah, really enjoyable. Just got to use it for a little bit yesterday morning, mainly as you saw in the video. Super manoeuvrability, extremely responsive, and you know, something that probably would have a place in our farm in the future. Ideally suited for places with limited access and small sheds, low roofs, etc. You know, but if we were to buy it right here, right now, it would be purely a luxury item because of the two tractors doing the work that we need. It's always fun to try out new stuff. So just on the New Holland here now, waiting on to warm up a little bit again since we used it this morning, and I'm putting the fork on and scooting up the road to get a bale of hay paddies. I was calculating our stack of bales, you can see them out through the window there, what we have left, and working out what we have to feed or not feed. That's it for this week's video. As always, thank you very much for liking, subscribing and hyping our video. We will talk to you on Tuesday. Drive it on.